If you're an empath with anxiety that doesn't fully respond to therapy, meditation, or medication, there might be a piece of the picture that nobody has named for you yet. Because a significant portion of what empaths experience as anxiety isn't coming from their own nervous system. It's being absorbed, and that changes how you address it. Anxiety was something that I lived with for a long time before I understood what was actually happening. Some of it was mine, real fear, real stress, real nervous system activation from my own life. But some of it would arrive without cause, spike in specific environments or after specific conversations, and then lift the moment I got home and was alone and could reset. That second kind wasn't mine, and it took me years to understand the difference. I want to briefly cover 3 different types of anxiety that empaths tend to experience. Type 1, your own anxiety. Real nervous system activation for your own life circumstances, whether that's stress, unhealed trauma, genuine uncertainty, self-generated fear patterns. This is yours to work with, and conventional approaches like therapy, somatic work, nervous system regulation practices are directly relevant here. Type 2, absorbed anxiety. Emotional and energetic input from other people and collective fields that your system registers as your own. This is what spikes in crowds, after certain conversations, or after consuming certain media content. It doesn't respond to logic, because logic can't address something that isn't yours in the first place. And then the third type, awakening anxiety. And this is a specific kind of heightened sensitivity and anxiety that comes with a spiritual awakening. When your nervous system is recalibrating to a new frequency, and everything feels more intense and less stable than usual. This type often gets worse before it gets better, and it requires a specific kind of support. So how do you tell which type you're dealing with? Well, in order to figure that out, I have a few diagnostic questions. Does the anxiety have a clear starting point that you can trace to a person, place, or interaction? That's absorbed anxiety. Does it correlate with being around certain people or in certain environments and lift when you're alone? That can also be absorbed anxiety. Does it arrive suddenly without cause and feel foreign, like it's sitting on top of you rather than coming from within? There's another example of absorbed anxiety. If your anxiety is consistent, regardless of environment and context, feels deeply familiar rather than foreign, and seems connected to your own thoughts and history, that's more likely to be your own anxiety. Most empaths are dealing with a combination of all 3, which is why a single approach rarely resolves it completely. So, now, what actually helps? For your own anxiety, nervous system regulation is foundational. Somatic practices, therapy, breath work, consistent daily practices that bring your baseline down. This is real work and it does matter. For absorbed anxiety, energy hygiene is imperative. The clearing practice, the is this mine check, protective intention before entering activating environments. Treating absorbed anxiety with cognitive approaches is like trying to think your way out of someone else's emotion. You need to release it, not reframe it. And for awakening anxiety, grounding and context are very important. The awakening process is activating your system at a fundamental level. What helps most is having a map, understanding what's happening and why, and having daily practices that keep you anchored in your body while these shifts occur. Sometimes anxiety is information. It's your system telling you something about a relationship, a situation, or a direction that you're heading in. Learning to listen to it rather than just manage it changes your whole relationship with it. So ask yourself, is this anxiety telling me something true that I haven't let myself acknowledge yet? If yes, address the thing, not just the anxiety. The anxiety will often resolve once the underlying truth gets attention. If the anxiety is part of a bigger pattern of sensitivity, overwhelm, and not quite knowing what's yours versus what isn't, I have a free guide in the description that walks through 33 different signs that you might be an empath in a spiritual awakening. Understanding the bigger picture often helps the anxiety itself. And if you want to look specifically at what's in your energetic field and what's contributing to this overwhelm, I offer a 1-hour energy audit that does exactly that. I will put a link in the episode description. Please take care of yourself. If you're struggling, reach out to a professional. What I'm sharing today is meant to complement real support, not replace it. And if this video resonated, please subscribe for more. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.